short 20, 25 minute student and teacher and Magnolia Project panel. We're going to get to get a perspective of a student who's doing their program, who's been through the pre-work, who's experience, a teacher who's taught our program for 2 years, and another amazing program director. While we wait, as privileged to listen and wait, take some lesson, but this is all in now.
Okay, so I'll start with a couple questions, and then feel free, the audience, if you have a question, you can raise your hand, and we'll make sure that your question is answered. Will that work? Okay, cool. I'm going to start with, can everyone just introduce themselves and who they are in relation to Magnolia Project?
Yeah. Do we need the microphones?
I don't think we need them. Do you guys want them?
Great.
Are we sure? We're good.
Hello, I am Monica Connors. I'm the program director for Magnolia Project. For the sake of paneling today, I created the curriculum. Gia had one, and I souped it up and added a little bit to the beginning. I taught middle school ESL for about 10 years, and then I moved up to high school, and then now I'm very happy to be kid adjacent and not directly in charge of them. And yeah, this is a really great fit for me because this is where my heart is. I love working with underdogs, and it's a program that I needed. I was definitely an underserved youth who did not know what I was doing or where I was going and didn't have anybody in my life to help me. So I lucked out with resources to be able to go to college and escape poverty, and I would like to help others do the same. So this is why I'm here.
That was a very nice little, I don't think I have one to equal that, but my name is Aaron Teagle. I am a teacher at Santa Rosa, junior high now? Junior high, the name changed. But, and I teach the college and career elective for 7th and 8th graders there. I also teach 8th grade US history. And I really found that this college and career elective and the work we're doing with Magnolia has been pretty interesting for a lot of the kids who haven't necessarily had guidance or opportunities to really think about what's coming in the future, right? They all know the future is coming. They have all these things they want to be, but they haven't spent a lot of time thinking about what it takes to get there and what it's actually like. And I find that the Magnolia Project and the college and career class in general give them some opportunities to kind of see what it takes to get to different spots and see what's out there so that they can kind of get the ball rolling and set themselves up for future success.
I'm Elliot Berg. I'm a 7th grader at Santa Rosa Junior High, and I'm in Mr. Teagle's College and Careers elective.
He was bribed with a muffin. And we are very grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Mr. Teagle. So you've done our program for 2 years now.
Yes.
Can you talk about what it's been like implementing our pre and post work curriculum as part of your college and career class?
Yeah, one of the things that we really wanted to focus on with our college and careers class is some of those soft skills that you really need in a lot of career spaces and really just in life in general as an adult. And those are things that are not really focused on a lot, especially in middle school. And middle school is such a hard skills time, right? So building in some of these soft skills of how do you talk to people, how do you sell yourself, how do you market yourself, all those sorts of things really fit in nicely with what Magnolia was bringing to the table in terms of curriculum and in terms of focus. And I felt that it really complemented some of the work we were already doing in that class. That and a lot of the, pre-work surveys where the kids are exploring different interests and looking into what's out there? What are things that fit kind of what I like and what I'm into? And I think that that's really powerful for a lot of them because there's going to be people who are like, well, I like to do this. And then they see, oh, this is an opportunity in that field that fits kind of what I want to do. I didn't know that was a thing. right? People tend to only know the careers and jobs they've been exposed to, that they've seen in their own communities, their own families. And through some of that pre-work and the other work we do in college and career, I feel like students are aware of a lot more of what's available for their futures.
Thanks, Karen. Elliot, can you talk a little bit about your Magnolia Project interview? Can you talk about what that was and how you prepared for it?
So we did a couple different projects on mostly just like elevator speeches and how to give a brief like sort of summary of who you are and what some of your skills and interests are. And in the actual interview itself, something I wasn't expecting was that it was actually done in like small groups. There was like one person interviewing like 3 or 4 people.
Did you feel prepared for your interview? How did you prep with this team?
I think it was the day before we actually did. I had some other people who work at the school come into our classroom and do like short little interviews.
Staff on prep.
Monica, can you talk a little bit about the pre and post-work curriculum? Sometimes schools just want to do this immersive experience and we don't let them do that, even though we could. Why is the pre and post-work so important?
So in the pre-work, students are getting oriented to what they're going to do here. And they're learning about themselves, they set goals, they learn about transferable skills because they are not necessarily getting the experience that they want. We talk about providing something new for them. You're going to try something new. Hopefully it's something that's at least adjacent. We just had it's not this group, but another group, everybody wanted to be a NICU nurse. It's like, ladies, nobody is letting you in the NICU. That is not happening. So we do the pre-work curriculum so that one, they learn about themselves and their values and what they want and what they don't want. Also learning about what's available, setting goals, learning how to make a resume and do interviews, and setting up the soft skills and setting expectations for their exploration that they're doing now. Afterward, the schools who do a lot of reflection afterward, those students are able to take the experiences that they've done. I used a hammer and take it further to what it means for their future. I enjoy using my hands. Another one, last spring, we do a post-survey data, and it's one of the questions is, what are 3 careers you're considering going forward? We ask it at the beginning as well, and a plumbing student said, definitely not damn plumbing. And that is really important information for that student to have because she was really excited about plumbing and she had a great time and she learned like this is not for me. So we like to have that post curriculum. They do a presentation of learning and they think about what it was, what part of their work environment was great for them or not. What part of their transferable skills, what do they need to do going forward to be able to reach the goal? Because students in 7th grade say, I want to be a lawyer and don't know that grad school exists, right? So we're helping them. We've got a law group. They're at court today and then they'll come back and they'll do pathways to law because there's all kinds of careers that exist if law is what you're interested in. And some of them absolutely go to grad school, do it. And the classes that you need to take in high school in order to do that.
Elliot, can you talk a little bit about your career exploration this week, your mentor, what you guys have been doing?
So my group we have been actually using this program to mod Minecraft. So basically we're using a program that allows us to make changes to an already existing video game, and it's mostly about trying to learn how to use software.
In part of a tech class, so that's sorry, my group didn't get to see
We
it.
didn't get to see it either.
Okay, but we have a great tech class where they're learning about tech. Can you talk a little bit about your future plans? Is like tech something you want to do, or what? How has this experience helped influencing kind of some of your future plans?
So before like I got into like college and university and whatnot, a lot of people like to ask like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I've basically always said something linked to my interest because I don't really know. But college and careers and the Magnolia Project felt me a lot on like what different jobs actually do and how you work on them. And what I've learned is I'd love to do something tech related. I've also learned that it'd probably also be good for me to do some like sort of special effects or animation.
And you go back from that or tech teacher? Oh, that's great. Great. Mr. Teagle, can you talk a little bit about how our program, one of the things we're trying to do is incentivize attendance, incentivize re-engagement in academics, behavior. Can you talk about where you've seen that with your students?
I could definitely tell you that many of our chronic late people for first period are finding a way to get here on time so that they can participate and not miss the bus. We noticed that last year. We noticed that this year as well. Attendance has been pretty solid across the board. On top of that, some of our frequent flyers to the office that have been on the trip have been very engaged, having a great time. When we got back to campus yesterday, one of them was telling me about the sawhorse that he built with Handyman Dan and how he and his buddy got it nice and level, more level than everybody else. I'm like, great, man. So I would say that this has been kind of a way in to learning for some of our kids that don't feel like traditional academia and school is really their best fit. So I think it's been very powerful for them.
I want to open it up. Does anyone have any questions for Monica, Mr. Teagle, or Elliot? Okay, go ahead.
For Elliot, in your own words, how would you say that your life is different now since participating in this program from before?
I feel like, sort of as I mentioned earlier, is like before this, I was a lot more unclear on what I wanted to do in my future, and I feel a lot more clear on that. And I have some more like goals that I think would be good, or some goals that I thought I would need to accomplish that I like am learning I don't need to work quite as hard on to accomplish what I want to do.
I'm curious about course enrollment. So, if these young people have a passion that sparks, is there support to sort of help them understand what coursework to take in high school and kind of map out that path? And how do you work that in?
That is something that we are working to really integrate more, especially now that we merged into a 712. We have more access to the high school elected teachers. And I know that Debbie and I have had conversations about how we can really bring that integration in. One of the things that our high school CTE people have been talking with me about is doing kind of some wheel days where we get to go and see every one of those electives and kind of check in and be like, hey, this is what's available. If this is kind of what you're into, this is the path for you there. And that and a lot of conversations with our counseling departments about enrollment for future courses and that sort of thing.
I might add too, the Exploring College and Career course is modeled after utilizing the Paxton Patterson labs. And so there's 10-day modules, and those modules are actually aligned to our CTE programs that are offered throughout the district. And so there was intentionality in selecting those. And we did that not only with staff, but also with our CTE advisory committee. And so we wanted to make sure not only are they aligned for our high school, but also to, industry needs in the area. And so, I think the 7-12 model is a really prime, way to really get connected even more to our high school program. So to build that, to improve pipeline. So,
we didn't get to see the tech. I'm curious, what kind of mods were you guys working on this week? And if you could implement your own mod, like what would your mod be that you would want to implement?
So actually, it's been so like Matt is sort of just teaching us how to use the program, but we actually have a lot of free space on what we want to do. It's more of he's just like taught us like one at a time how to make a block or an entity or a biome and whatnot. So a lot of it is actually I have been doing just what I want to do.
Which is
I'm making a mod that's sort of space themed, and the blocks I've made give you double jump height, so it's sort of like low gravity.
Does anyone else have any more questions? Your questions are better than mine, so.
Provided by the Magnolia Project. Is it taught by Magnolia Project people or is it taught?
no, they give us the curriculum and we have some freedom about how to implement it, how to tweak it, all that sort of thing. So, what is it, a Canvas these days? There's a Canvas that has access to everything, plus a binder. And from that, we can tailor it to our particular populations and students and adjust timeframes if necessary, and all that sort of thing.
You can tell me if this is what happened. So it is designed that someone can walk in cold and go through the slides and it just goes. So if you want to just do what I made, it's already done. Everything is completely done. If you want to modify it, you can. We have a couple of required components that they're required because we didn't used to have them and it doesn't work. So there's like 5 required components that we insist upon, and everything else is pretty adaptable. But if you were walking in cold, would it work?
Yeah, I think so. As long as you have access to it and you can project it and all that stuff, you certainly could. And there are definitely parts of it that you can revisit a second time and really reinforce. And again, it's just like using any other curriculum. You can use it as is, you can adjust it, it works both ways.
Everything is Common Core ELA. Everything.
And I believe there's also some career,
Yeah, there's CTE
CTE
standards too.
standards applied to as well, if I recall.
Yeah, our goal is to take work off of teachers, but like my guy was taught, so we were like, we're not giving you guys more. So our goal is to take stuff off their plate. As much of our stuff is systematized, right? It's a plug and play, so teachers can do what's most important, which is working with their students, and we can do all the background stuff of making sure all these people have a fingerprint and a TV screen and are trained, and the curriculum is ready for them to go.
Also, I'm available. I'm happy to work with teachers. We have one teacher so the lessons are, it turns out my primary classroom management strategy was keeping kids too busy to breathe, let alone misbehave. So the lessons are very big. And so during the teacher training, it's what can you take out so that it works well for your students. We have one teacher that has 90-minute blocks 4 days a week, and the curriculum is not that big. So I've worked with her to what else can we bring in, because she's got a ton of preps and did not know she was going to teach this CTE course. And so I'm happy to step in and help teachers do what I've already made, implement it well, and supplement or take away as needed. It's my favorite part of my job. So I tell them to call me.
Go ahead.
I saw several of the slides and maybe some of the comments also that a lot of the students are going through this to re-engage into their educational experience. So are majority of students coming from alternate programs or regular school? I was just curious that I saw that come up several times. Are these a lot of students just falling away, they weren't interested in this? Just trying to
Yeah. I'll start and then I'll let Gia finish. So we work in a variety of school contexts. We find that our program is particularly useful for students who do not have a lot of opportunities elsewhere. So we're in a lot of rural communities that don't have awesome programs. They have some, but nothing like what we do. And so that's probably what you're seeing in terms of like re-engagement. We're also in several alternative schools, and that tends to go particularly well also. We've also done some private schools and a few of them, but I'd say I'd say our hearts are in helping the underdogs and in being in sites that wouldn't have these opportunities otherwise. But we do all kinds of things.
And when we talk about engagement, when I started this, it was after COVID. So it was like the worst time. Who here was teaching during COVID? A lot of people. It was the worst time ever. It was like these sitting on a computer all day for me, for all of I was teaching 11th grade English. I didn't even really like 11th grade, so that's another problem. But that was not engaging. That really sucked. COVID really, really hurt kids, and it really hurt our public schools. And so how do we get kids to a place where they are excited about coming to school? And we think that everybody, even that student that's like known since kindergarten where they're going to college, to the kid that's like, I'm not really sure school's for me, we want everyone to re-engage. So the curriculum is designed to connect academic learning to real world. All these immersives that you just saw, it's all hands-on, it's all real world. And the post-work too is all about helping students reflect and think about the big world out there. So we think that everyone can benefit from school feeling a little bit more relevant to their real life, if that makes sense.
So at the beginning of the presentation, you also talked about how many students you're serving. And
Yeah.
from a trend standpoint, did you grow from last year? Are you projecting to grow next year? What's the...
So in 2022, we started with 140 students. This year, I think we'll get to 550, I think, depending on enrollment for our spring programs. We think we will continue to grow next year, and our goal is to deepen impact in school districts where we already are. So have more students in Santa Rosa City School, like expand to all the middle schools in Santa Rosa City School, expand to the seventh graders in West Atlantic, things like that. So that's, I think, the way we envision ourselves growing. To do this well, we can't serve 9,000 kids. Like we're not like philanthropy comes to me and it's like, oh, it's like a tech, like we're not a tech product. You know what I mean? Like to have these really amazing experiences, we do need to keep our numbers low, and we're really lucky to work with Santa Rosa City Schools because they understand that and they're willing to help us with that investment. Yes, go ahead.
So when this experience includes and you do the post wrap up, what happens after that? Is there follow-up with the kids? Like, we don't want the movement to just stop, but what is the next piece?
So the schools that we work with, we tend to work with year after year. So at one school, at Geyserville, it's for their fourth year there. So we're working with the kids year after year. There's 3 levels of curriculum, and so each one builds upon the previous one to up their skills. And we hope that we do continue, like once we build relationships with schools, it's so much easier to do it a second time than the first. So yeah, we continue in that way, and we hope to keep them, to let them know what resources are available to them and help them continue in that direction.
Yeah, are there any partner programs in Sonoma County right now doing, I know there's a CTE foundation separate, but what's going on CTE wise, other than classes? I know that high schools have pathways. How does Magnolia Project efforts fit in?
I think we're a model that was developed by 2 former teachers. I grew up here, I went to public schools here, so I think we really get our schools in our context. And I think the reason we've been able to bring in $800,000 of funding outside of the state, outside of Sonoma County, is because we're doing something very different. So I wouldn't say we love working with other nonprofits, CHOPS, Boys and Girls Club, 6th Street Playhouse, but I wouldn't say there's a lot of other organizations locally in Sonoma County doing what we do. I don't know if other folks have thoughts about that. Go ahead.
Are there any industries that you guys are hearing there's interest in from the students that maybe you don't have a mentor partner yet that maybe we can take with us when we leave?
Yes.
And think about?
Yes. So we work really hard to get a great variety. We want to do what students are doing. We thought medical was impossible because of HIPAA, but we just did a program with all medical, and I don't even know how we found 28 different placements. It's been a wild ride. So medical is one that we will continue. We want to do something where a nurse comes and does an experience like this, and maybe phlebotomy or something. I don't know, like an on-campus mentor, a community member, a retired nurse or something that can come and do that. We're also always looking for tradespeople because it's really high in demand, so plumbers and carpenters and folks like that. What else do they want? There's lots of science-based things. Like I would love to see, we're doing some programs closer to the sea, and I would love to see some marine biology, something, cellular microscopes, things like that we don't yet have, that I would love to have. But basically, if you know a good adult that would work with kids, send them our way. Yeah. I help mentor, so most of these folks have never taught before, so I help them with their lesson plans.
Support them in, like, here is a group of 8th graders and here's how they behave and here's how you keep them engaged. So we support them, and then we're here as well. So there's prep before with these folks. They don't have to have worked with children before. They should probably like them. But we support them as they prepare to share their knowledge and their business acumen. Most of them are small business owners as well, which we love, because students can be entrepreneurs as well as handymen as well as cosmetologists.
I think that's all. But so I also have any other sheet signing. Thank you for coming. We'll be around if you have further questions for us. And thank you so much for taking time today to be here. It's the big good.
Thanks to Elliot.
Well, thank you, Elliot.
Okay, you're free.
You did amazing, kiddo.